Roots, Nation, Earth, and Humanity produced by the House of the Philosopher and Seed. Section 1. The question of who we are. There comes a moment in every human life when a simple question becomes a serious question. Who am I? We may answer with a name. We may answer with a city, a country, a family, a religion, a profession, or a culture. All of those answers can be true, but none of them has to be the whole truth. Identity can have layers. One layer tells us where our family story began. Another tells us where we were born or where we became citizens. Another tells us the planet that gives every one of us air, water, soil, and a place to live. The picture before us carries a powerful statement. My ancestry connects me to Africa, my nationality connects me to America, my greater home is Earth, and I am a human being of Earth. That statement is not asking us to erase one identity in order to accept another. It is asking us to see the whole tree. The roots matter. The trunk matters. The branches matter. The soil matters. And the life moving through the entire tree matters. The House of the Philosopher and Seed invites us to think like a seed. A seed contains memory, possibility, and direction. It remembers where it came from, but it also grows toward light. In the same way, a person can honor ancestry without being trapped in the past, honor nationality without believing one nation is the whole world, and honor humanity without becoming disconnected from culture. Wisdom is not choosing only one part of yourself. Wisdom is learning how the parts fit together. Section 2. Ancestry. The power of roots. Ancestry is about origin, inheritance, and memory. For many African Americans, the ancestral connection to Africa is both historical and emotional. Africa is not one culture, one language, or one people. It is a vast continent containing many nations, ethnic groups, languages, traditions, philosophies, spiritual systems, artistic traditions, and histories. To say that ancestry connects us to Africa is therefore not to claim one simple story. It is to recognize a deep continental connection that reaches beyond the borders of the modern United States. Roots matter because people who understand their roots often gain a stronger sense of continuity. You begin to see that your life did not begin with you. You inherited something. Stories, strengths, wounds, values, questions, names, practices, and possibilities. Some of that inheritance was preserved. Some was interrupted. Some was forgotten. Some can be researched and rediscovered. But the lesson is deeper than genealogy. The lesson is that human beings are always standing on ground prepared by people who lived before them. At the House of the Philosopher and Seed, the root can represent memory and the seed can represent responsibility. If your ancestors endured hardship, the question is not only, what did they suffer? The question is also, what will you build with the life that reached you? Respect for ancestors becomes most meaningful when it produces discipline, wisdom, education, creativity, healthy families, strong communities, and a future worth handing forward. A root does not brag about being a root. It does its work underground. It anchors the tree. It searches for water. It holds the soil. In that same spirit, ancestral pride should become substance. Learn. Read. Build. Teach. Create. Protect what is good. Correct what is harmful. Leave evidence that your generation added strength to the tree. Section 3. Nationality. The reality of America. Nationality is different from ancestry. Nationality is connected to citizenship, political belonging, law, civic life, and the country in which a person lives. An African American can have African ancestry and American nationality at the same time. Those truths do not cancel one another. They answer different questions. America is part of the story. It is the place where generations of black families have lived, worked, struggled, served, created music, built businesses, raised children, organized communities, fought for rights, contributed inventions, written literature, taught in schools, practiced faith, served in public life, and shaped the culture of the nation. The American story has included both opportunity and injustice. Mature thinking is able to hold both facts at once. We do not have to turn history into either pure praise or pure condemnation. We can study it honestly and ask what responsibility belongs to us now. Nationality gives us not only an identity, but also duties. Citizenship means participation. It means learning the laws that affect you, voting if you are eligible, and choose to participate, understanding your rights, understanding your responsibilities, supporting your community, paying attention to local decisions, and helping the next generation understand how institutions work. The philosopher asks, what does freedom require from the person who wants to be free? It requires more than emotion. It requires knowledge. It requires economic awareness. It requires self-control. It requires organization. It requires the ability to disagree without losing your mind or your humanity. If America is part of your national identity, then one way to honor that identity is to become an informed, disciplined, constructive participant in the society you live in. Section 4. Earth. The home beneath every border. Before there were passports, borders, flags, and national anthems, there was Earth. Every nation exists on the same planet. Every city stands on the same planetary home. The water cycle ignores political borders. The atmosphere does not stop at a customs checkpoint. Rivers cross regions. Winds move across countries. Birds migrate. Oceans connect continents. Human beings breathe from one shared atmosphere. Calling Earth our greater home does not make our local homes meaningless. It gives them context. Think about a house. You may have your own room, but the room is still inside a larger house. In the same way, a person may belong to a neighborhood, city, state, nation, culture, and family, while also belonging to the human community living on Earth. This broader identity can produce humility. No nation owns the sunrise. No people created gravity. No government manufactured the oceans. We inherited a world that existed before our present institutions, and we will leave that world to people who come after us. That creates a moral question. What condition will the next generation receive? The house of the philosopher and seed teaches through the language of planting. If Earth is the soil of human civilization, then everything we build depends upon taking care of the conditions that sustain life. Clean water matters. Healthy soil matters. Air matters. Trees matter. Cities designed for human well-being matter. Responsible use of resources matters. You do not have to become an expert in environmental science to understand a simple principle. Never destroy the ground that your future depends upon. Section 5. Humanity. The family larger than tribe. Humanity is the widest human family. We have different appearances, languages, religions, customs, histories, and ways of life. Those differences are real. They can be beautiful, and sometimes they can become sources of conflict. But beneath those differences, human beings share basic needs. We need food, water, shelter, safety, connection, dignity, meaning, and hope. We know joy. We know grief. We care about children. We fear loss. We want our lives to matter. To call humanity a family does not mean everyone will agree. Families disagree. Nations disagree. Cultures disagree. The point is not sameness. The point is recognition. The person on the other side of a disagreement is still a human being. That recognition becomes especially important when anger is high, because anger can make us reduce people to labels. The philosopher's discipline is to resist the temptation to become less human while defending what matters. You can oppose an idea without dehumanizing a person. You can defend your community without teaching hatred. You can be proud of Black history without needing to deny anyone else's humanity. You can love your people while still understanding that human dignity cannot be divided into separate species of worth. The seed lesson is simple. Every child enters the world needing care. No baby chooses a race, language, nationality, neighborhood, or family before birth. We enter conditions we did not design. Wisdom asks us to create conditions in which more human beings can grow into responsible, educated, disciplined, compassionate adults. Section 6. Identity without a prison. Identity can be a source of strength, but it can also become a prison if we turn it into a wall around the mind. A strong identity should tell you who you are without forcing you to hate who someone else is. It should give you roots without preventing growth. It should give you a home without making you afraid of the rest of the world. Imagine 4 circles. The first circle is ancestry. The second is nationality. The third is planetary belonging. The fourth is humanity. These circles do not need to fight. They can sit inside one another. Your ancestry can give you heritage. Your nationality can give you civic location. Earth can give you planetary perspective. Humanity can give you moral kinship. This layered view also protects us from manipulation. When someone tells you that you must reject one part of yourself to prove loyalty to another, think carefully. When someone tells you that pride requires contempt, think carefully. When someone tells you that history should be used only to produce anger instead of understanding and action, think carefully. A free mind studies before it reacts. The house of the philosopher and seed stands for knowledge, wisdom, understanding, discipline, and creation. Those principles can be applied to identity. Knowledge asks, what are the facts? Wisdom asks, what do these facts mean for my life? Understanding asks, how are these parts connected? Discipline asks, what must I practice every day? Creation asks, what can I build from what I have learned? Section 7. From history to responsibility. History matters, but history should not become a chair that we sit in forever. History is a teacher. The purpose of a teacher is to prepare the student to act with greater intelligence. When we study African history, African American history, American history, or world history, we should ask practical questions. What systems helped communities become strong? What choices caused decline? How did people educate children? How did they build wealth? How did they preserve culture? How did they respond to oppression? How did they organize? What mistakes did they repeat? What can we learn without romanticizing the past? The strongest respect for history is responsible action in the present. If we admire ancient builders, then build. If we admire teachers, then teach. If we admire inventors, then create. If we admire freedom fighters, then practice the discipline that makes freedom sustainable. If we admire wise elders, then become the kind of elder younger people can trust. There is a difference between inheriting a proud story and becoming a proud chapter in that story. The first is given to you. The second must be earned. Every generation receives a seed. The question is whether we consume it, neglect it, or plant it. You can plant a seed through education. You can plant through saving and investing wisely. You can plant through parenting. You can plant through mentorship. You can plant through entrepreneurship, art, writing, technology, community service, skilled work, craftsmanship, and honest leadership. You do not need fame to contribute to history. You need consistency. Section 8. The discipline of unity. People often speak about unity as though unity means everybody thinking the same way. That is not unity. Real unity is the ability to cooperate around shared principles while allowing room for individuality and disagreement. A family can have different personalities and still protect the household. A community can have different beliefs and still support safe streets, good schools, economic opportunity, healthy children, and respect for elders. A nation can contain many cultures and still commit to common rules. Humanity can contain many nations while recognizing that war, disease, environmental damage, and economic instability can cross borders. Unity therefore requires discipline. It requires listening. It requires boundaries. It requires honesty. It requires the ability to correct one another without humiliation. It requires the courage to say no to destructive behavior even when the person doing it looks like us. Unity is not covering up wrong. Unity is building conditions in which people can become better. The House of the Philosopher and Seed can make this practical with a simple formula. Root yourself in knowledge, govern yourself with discipline, connect through respect, and build through cooperation. That formula works in a household, a workplace, a business, a neighborhood, or a movement. If we want stronger communities, we must become stronger contributors. Ask yourself, what do I bring into the room? Confusion or clarity? Anger or direction? Complaints or solutions? Dependence or capability? Ego or service? Every answer becomes a seed. Section 9. A code for the human being of Earth. If we accept the idea that ancestry connects us to our roots, nationality connects us to civic life, Earth connects us to a shared home, and humanity connects us to a larger family, then we can develop a code for living. First, know your roots. Study your family when possible. Study history from credible sources. Learn the difference between evidence, tradition, interpretation, and myth. Let pride be informed pride. Second, know your rights and responsibilities where you live. Learn how your local government, workplace, schools, taxes, laws, and civic institutions operate. Knowledge is a form of protection. Third, protect your health and your environment. Your body is the first house you live in, and Earth is the larger house around it. Respect both. Fourth, practice economic discipline. Save something. Reduce waste. Learn how money works. Build skills that make you useful. Create value before chasing status. Wealth without wisdom can disappear quickly, but wisdom can teach a person how to rebuild. Fifth, teach the next generation. Give young people more than slogans. Give them reading, history, financial knowledge, emotional discipline, practical skills, and examples they can see. Sixth, treat human dignity as a principle, not a mood. You will not like everyone. You will not agree with everyone. But you can refuse to become cruel merely because someone is different. Seventh, create. A seed that never enters the soil cannot become a tree. Ideas must become plans. Plans must become action. Action must become habits. Habits must become institutions. Institutions can outlive the individual. Section 10. The closing seed. So who are you? You are more than one label. You are a person with a history behind you, responsibilities around you, and possibilities ahead of you. Your ancestry can connect you to Africa. Your nationality can connect you to America. Your greater physical home is Earth. And your biological family is humanity. These ideas can stand together without contradiction when we understand that each speaks to a different layer of belonging. Do not use ancestry as an excuse to live only in yesterday. Use it as a root. Do not use nationality as a reason to ignore the rest of the planet. Use it as a place of civic responsibility. Do not use planetary identity as an excuse to erase culture. Use it as perspective. Do not use the word humanity as a soft slogan. Use it as a standard for how you treat people. The House of the Philosopher and Seed leaves you with this final formula. Africa, ancestry. America, nationality. Earth, home. Humanity, family. Knowledge, the root. Discipline, the trunk. Wisdom, the branches. Action, the fruit. And the seed, what you pass forward. Remember, a seed does not become a tree by talking about growth. It becomes a tree by entering the soil, enduring darkness, reaching for light, and continuing the process day after day. Your identity is not only something to declare, it is something to develop. Know where you come from. Understand where you stand. Respect the world that holds you. Recognize the humanity in others. And build something that makes the next generation stronger. This presentation was produced by the House of the Philosopher and Seed. Plant the thought. Build the structure. Rule the outcome. And always remember, the seed never dies when wisdom is passed forward.